Going through school, did you ever run into that teacher or class that felt as though they thought it was the only class that you had? The class that piled on the work and would have been a lot even if that was the only class that you had? That's the feeling I get sometimes about the modern video game scene. So many games out there want to suck up all your time and energy and keep you from playing anything but that game. Now, admittedly, this is really a criticism of online multiplayer style games. While I do think that there are single player games that get padded out sometimes to make the game feel longer and more worth your money, that's not really what I'm talking about in this video. I'm talking about systems in games that lock you into playing and make you feel like you're missing out or wasting your money if you don't play it enough. Systems that make playing the game feel like a job because you're grinding at it and trying to work to earn stuff and progress in the game, that it just kind of feels like you're constantly needing to work at it or else you fall woefully behind. For most people, the system that comes to mind is probably the Battle Pass or Season Pass system that has become a feature in many online games. It's not the only system out there that has this issue, but I feel like it's a good focus for a lot of my discussion here. Battle or Season Passes is a system that requires you to play a game and earn some kind of experience that will unlock items in the pass as you go. While many do offer some sort of free rewards, most of the best rewards require you to buy the pass, which will enable you to unlock everything the pass has to offer. I'm sure that you can see the appeal of such a system in online games. As new stuff is being made and released for the game, people are able to spend money to earn new stuff with the new season. Seasons typically last anywhere from 1 month to 3 months depending on the game, so it allows for a steady income to keep the game in development. I understand this, and that's why I don't have a problem with these systems in general, but it's easy for them to become a problem in many ways. While I'm only focusing on the making games feel like jobs problem, it's also not the only problem that can happen with these systems. I'll give 2 examples from 2 of the games that I play, Fortnite and Marvel Snap. So I'll start with the bigger of the 2 games, Fortnite. Well, Fortnite's Battle Pass has always had the positive of giving you enough of its premium currency, V-Bucks, to earn the next pass. It has been made worse over time in a number of ways. One of these ways is that the Battle Pass has been made longer and harder to achieve over time. The Battle Pass used to be simply 100 levels, but then they changed it to add more content and made it so that you need to reach level 200 to get everything that is actually in the pass. Now, on one hand, you can argue that this gives you more content and increases the value of the Battle Pass, and I would agree with this to a point, but often these bonus unlocks require 2 levels per item to earn as opposed to the 1 for the regular Battle Pass. This little detail keeps me from enjoying these rewards nearly as much as the first 100 levels. Sure, if the only game you play is Fortnite, this is just an added bonus, but if it's not, it requires you to play even more to earn everything that was in the pass. And while some of these bonus items are just the super level styles, others can sometimes include the basic styles for accessories for the Battle Pass skins. And this makes it feel less of a bonus and more of a continuation of the Battle Pass that requires more work to earn the rewards for. This was particularly true when they added V-Bucks to these bonus levels before they reduced the amount of V-Bucks in the Battle Pass, but that's a whole nother issue. Instead of making the pass fairly easy to completely achieve, they had to artificially expand it and make it longer to earn all that they were offering. They want you to be someone who plays their game as much as possible, and this is a way to attempt to make people play it more. I think I'd be less critical of this system if they simply added it to like 150 levels and just made those 50 levels you earn something every level that you accomplish. But the fact that they artificially extend it by making it every 2 levels because they're bonus makes it feel like they're just stretching things out to try to get the maximum amount of your time and keep you playing the game as much as possible. Moving from Fortnite to Marvel Snap, my focus won't be on their main season pass, as it isn't terrible to accomplish. Yes, it still takes time. Yes, it still takes you to play the game regularly, but I don't feel like it's a terrible thing to accomplish. The worst thing is probably the fact that it's one of the shortest season passes of any of the games that I play. Seasons only last 1 month, and thus it requires you to pay for it more often and play it regularly over the course of a smaller period of time. So that is kind of a downside to it. Not that I've really bought one for a long time, but it is still the setup. What I'm focusing on with Marvel Snap are their event passes. So it's not uncommon for them either weekly or every other week to have an event that goes on. And in that is a pass system to earn rewards. And usually there is a free pass and a premium pass where you can buy and spend money to get more stuff. The problem here is that these passes tend to be super grindy. The pass itself requires you to play a decent amount to get all the rewards in it. Typically, I think that maybe buying the premium does give you a little bit of a boost in what you can earn, but still still it's going to take a decent amount to get that. But to make these passes even worse, they have a store that you can use the currency that you earn in the event to buy extra things, and this takes a lot of grinding to get even a portion of the rewards that are on offer. So it just feels like they're wanting you to grind and grind and grind if you're wanting to get the rewards. They dangle the carrot out there for you to try to play the game as much as possible, or to spend money on it to get more rewards. And it just feels not great. Like, the event rewards are so grindy and so labor intensive that it's just really hard to feel like you could ever get all of the rewards for an event unless you played this game like it was literally your job and did it 40 hours a week, if not more. And here's the bad thing. I enjoy both of these games, but I feel like there are systems put into play to try to maximize the time you put into these games. Not by trying to make the game as enjoyable as possible, but by trying to make you feel like you're missing out, or that you would need to do these things to earn the rewards that are on offer. And when you start doing that, you make the game feel more and more like a job, and it disincentivizes me to play more. I feel like this also makes it harder for other online games to make any kind of traction. I know for myself, playing a few online games like this makes it really hard to add another unless I was going to remove one that I'm already playing, or just give up on playing anything single player. Now, battle passes aren't the only systems that cause this problem. Many games can rely on a massive grind to gain resources, experience points, or currency in order to become more powerful. These kind of systems are most common in mobile games, I feel, that either want you to spend money or grind out a lot of time in order to become more powerful or gain the latest content released. I also think that MMOs would be a genre that kind of has systems that make it feel like you have to put in the work to keep up with where things are. Doubly if this is a MMO that requires a subscription where you're paying to play, and so you want to try to grind out reward or effort for the money that you're putting into the game. And this reality can just make so many games feel like they're jobs, that you need to put in a 40-hour week in order to have all that's on offer. While I may be being a little hyperbolic there, it still makes it hard to not feel that these games want to be the only game you play. They want to keep your attention and playtime all to itself and never want to share. Which to me is just such a terrible thing, because there are so many great games out there, both single player and online, that are worth your attention. And even worse in all this is that often these online games offer little to no sense of closure when the end comes. Servers will go offline, and the content that you paid time and money for will become inaccessible. The story or attempts at story will end with a whimper, and there won't really be much of a sense of closure at the end of it all. Now, I know it may sound like I'm very antagonistic towards these games, but I'm really not. I play a handful of online games like this, mainly Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, Marvel Snap, and you can maybe count Warframe in there too. I also understand that an online game that is consistently adding content needs consistent funding. It costs money to run servers, fix issues, and develop new content. I'm willing to support those games that I enjoy. At the same time, sometimes playing these games just feel like they want all of your time, and that's not a good feeling. Viewers of my channel will know that I love a wide variety of games, and when there are games that are wanting to steal a bit too much of my time, not because I'm super enjoying it, but because of exploiting FOMO or sunk cost, it just starts to feel frustrating and kind of turns me off from the game. Worst thing is that I don't know what the solution is. Ideally, it would be games focused on putting out their best content and hoping that will be what draws people to their games, instead of making systems that require significant time in order to earn content in the game, whether it is from season passes, grindy systems, or just randomness. I think part of the problem here too is that there are gamers out there who don't care about playing a variety of games. They're pretty happy to main a game for long periods of time. Granted, I also feel like this tends to lead to people burning out from certain games quicker and either leaving the game altogether or taking extended breaks from it. So having the extra content and things take longer to earn helps keep these players engaged in the content longer, at least in the short term. I guess for me, games are something of an escape from the monotony of life and the grind that life can often feel like. To have games begin to feel like that very grind you're trying to escape from doesn't feel like a great thing, especially when you're often paying the game companies for the experience instead of getting paid yourself. What are your thoughts on this topic? Do you have any solutions to this issue? Something that I missed in the discussion? Do you not even see this as a problem at all? I'd love to hear and interact with your thoughts in the comments below. But that's all for this video though, so I'll see you in the next one.